It's good to be together again. I hope all is well with you. We have a lot to worry about right now. Don't you agree? Climate change is affecting us more and more. We are facing wars, exceptions in the economy, and even a major pandemic that has taken us off the axis in recent years. It is not possible to know with certainty whether humanity has ever faced so many challenges in its more than 100,000 years of existence, but that we're going through a rough patch? Oh, we are, I'm sure. And as if all this wasn't enough, space agencies around the world, such as NASA, constantly issue warnings about some new threat coming from the sky that could cause us even more trouble. Really, things are not easy. But starting from that, in today's video, we decided to bring you the two main astronomical objects that are hovering around our space there, threatening to collide with us at some point. You will realize that in addition to the intimidation and admiration they cause us, we are also learning a lot from them, including how to find our way out if we are really in danger in the near future. Let's check then what is happening. The first object has already been nicknamed the asteroid of the apocalypse by the name. You can feel the bar, right? Or doomsday asteroid. But is he really all that? Well, if one day 101955 Banio reaches us, it is likely that it will prove to be quite dangerous. Banio, as it is often called, was discovered in 1999 by a space mapping project done in collaboration between the United States Air Force, NASA, and Lincoln Laboratory of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, also known as 1999 RQ-36 or asteroid 101955. The name Banio was chosen through a competition held by the University of Arizona in 2013. Student Mike Pusil. The 9-year-old only proposed the winning name because of the shape of the spacecraft designed to visit the asteroid that resembled the god Pennu from Egyptian mythology. The mythical bird that looks like a heron is often associated with Osiris, the god of rebirth, fertility, and also death. Scientists considered the dual role of asteroids in the universe symbolic. Sometimes they act as destroyers of life, but some of these rocks are also believed to have brought life to Earth billions of years ago. The size of this asteroid is frightening. Banio is 492 millimeters wide, which is equivalent to 5 football fields, and has a fairly regular shape that looks a bit like a spinning top. The asteroid completes an orbit around the Sun every 435 Earth days, and every 6 years approaches our planet, passing about 300,000 kilometers from our surface. It seems like little, but in universal references, this is almost nothing. Bannon is a special type of carbon-rich asteroid and is believed to have organic compounds as old as the solar system itself, which, according to scientists, may help shed some light on the origins of life on our planet. These chunks of rock usually live at the outer limits of the asteroid belt between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, but sometimes migrate closer to the Sun just as Ben did in the past. Experts believe that the Yarkovsky effect was responsible for bringing it closer to us. This is a boost generated by sunlight when the extraordinarily dark carbon-rich asteroid absorbs its energy. Scientists think Bannon left the main asteroid belt after it separated from a much larger body, up to 200 kilometers wide. Wow, a collision, another rock. This collision may have happened between 7,000 and 2 billion years ago. Because it is very close to us, Banil was chosen to be studied by NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission between 2018 and 2021. The exploration, which involved dramatic sampling, made Banil one of the 3 most well-explored asteroids in the entire universe. The mission revealed several surprising facts about it, including that its surface is so soft that it almost swallowed the probe during the sampling landing. The space rock was selected as the target of NASA's first asteroid sampling mission back in 2008. The asteroid stood out among 7,000 other near-Earth objects known at the time, according to the University of Arizona, which manages the mission for NASA when designing this mission. Engineers were specifically looking for a rock traveling between 0.8 and 1.6 astronomical units, which is the fulfillment unit that measures the distance from Earth to the Sun, approximately 1,500 kilometers beyond the right orbit. Scientists also needed a rock that didn't spin too fast to allow safe sample collection. That meant that the asteroid needed to be over 200 minnow. Scientists were also interested in visiting a special type of asteroid, a carbon-rich type that hasn't changed much since the early days of the solar system. Bennu was only one of 5 known asteroids at the time that had all these prerequisites. The NASA mission set off for a 2-year journey in September 2016 and entered orbit around the rock in December 2018. The probe remained for almost 2 years, studying Bennu remotely before making a successful, albeit rather dramatic, attempt to collect samples. In October 2020, during the sampling operation, the mission managed to collect around 120 grams of regolith from the surface of Bennu. But the asteroid's response to the landing took the mission team by surprise. It turns out that Bennu proved to be a conglomerate of dirt, gravel, and pebbles held together only by very weak gravitational forces, which almost allowed OSIRIS-REx to be swallowed up. The probe left the asteroid in 2021 and arrived on Earth on 09/24/2023. Initial analyses showed that Bennu was, in fact, made mostly of carbon, which supports the hypothesis that asteroids played a crucial role in bringing essential components for life to the early Earth. In addition, the scientists also detected the presence of magnesium and sodium phosphate, minerals that were not predicted during the first examinations made at a distance. This suggests that the celestial body may have a much more complex origin than we imagined, which indicates that it may also behave in erratic and unpredictable ways. But what caught everyone's attention the most was the fact that Bennu almost swallowed the probe sent to study him. The asteroid's response was a complete surprise to scientists, showing that the asteroid behaves almost like a sphere of liquid, instead of a heap of solid material. Is this asteroid going to hit Earth or not? That's the question you should be asking yourself. And if that happens, what will be the consequences? Well, although Bennu is officially one of the bodies most likely to collide with our planet in the next 1,000 years, the chances of that collision actually happening are relatively low. Oh, thank God. A NASA study carried out in August 2021 concluded that the probability of 2 bodies entering space by 2300 is around 1 in 1750. The study took into account measurements from the NASA mission, which means it included the most accurate data on all kinds of parameters that can affect the shower trajectory. Just take a good look. Experts say the chance is small, but not impossible. Numerous variables need to be taken into account, including the Yarkovsky effect we talked about earlier and other unpredictable situations. How will the asteroid's trajectory be altered by a collision with another celestial body? If that really happens, we'll be in bad shape, friends. At 492 mm wide, banners would certainly cause some destruction if it hit our planet. The impact of this rock would not trigger a mass extinction event, but would cause serious consequences in the affected region. According to the calculation of experts in the subject, the crater after the impact would be about 6 kilometers. With the blast of air toppling buildings tens of miles away from the epicenter and also breaking clear windows hundreds of miles away from it. The good news is that if the asteroid gets too close to our planet, NASA will have a tool to avoid collision. Thanks to a recent mission that successfully changed the orbit of a lunar asteroid, this was the first time in history that the route of a celestial body has been altered. But we'll talk about that in a moment. First, let's meet our next nemesis, the best Apophis. In 2004, a team of astronomers discovered a 340-meter asteroid while working at an observatory in Arizona. The asteroid was named Apophis, after one of the most dangerous creatures of ancient Egypt. Considered the personification of chaos, destruction, and evil. Wow! And for those who chose a name like that, good, simple, the piece of rock is coming towards our planet and could collide with the Earth right there in 2029, doing quite a bit of damage. The asteroid remained at the top of NASA's impact risk list for 17 years and was only removed in 2021 anyway. Researchers have not yet been able to rule out the possibility that Earth's gravitational effects could influence the celestial body in such a way that it could result in an impact a few years from now. Most likely it will pass close to us on April 13, 2029, when it will be only 31,000 kilometers away. Guys, and that's pretty close. Closer than most satellites, and 10 times closer than the moon. That's without considering the variables and miscalculations that may mask the fact that Apophis is actually coming our way. Experts believe that because the space rock is giant, its passage will be so bright that more than 2 billion people will be able to see it with the naked eye. Classified as an asteroid of the type S1 stony rock. Unlike the previous case, Apophis may also contain a mixture of metals, including nickel and iron, according to NASA. It is believed that the shape of the asteroid is elongated and composed of 2 lobes, as if it were a kind of a rocky space peanut, let's say so. While most space rocks that hit Earth's atmosphere burn during entry due to friction, when an asteroid actually hits Earth, a variety of factors that determine the consequences come into play. These factors include, but are not limited to, the size of the object, its mass, and the angle at which it enters the atmosphere. Well, considering all that, believe me, that if the Apophis were to fall to Earth, it would probably provide the equivalent of 880 megatons of energy. To give you an idea, the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima only released about 0.15 megatons of energy, and was enough to take the lives of 200,000 people and wipe the city off the map. Did you feel drama? You got a sense, right, of what can happen. At least the chances of the asteroid hitting a populated area are small. It is important to remember that oceans cover about 75% of the surface of our planet. So, statistically speaking, Apophis is much more likely to fall into the water than into the ground. But that doesn't necessarily mean we'll be alone for sure. Have you ever thrown a stone into a lake and seen the little ripples extending in all directions? Oh yeah, this displacement of water and the subsequent wave patterns it produces are examples of the fundamental principles of physics at work. The way force and energy propagate. For example, now imagine a giant rock hitting a giant lake, which would be the ocean. This rock here, in this case Apophis, would also send waves in all directions, and these ripples are becoming devastating tsunamis, probably on several continents. Considering that a significant percentage of the human population lives in coastal cities, the damage would be incalculable. Renowned scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson has warned that a tsunami or a series of tsunamis caused by the impact of Apophis in the Pacific Ocean could destroy the west coast of North America, so humans will definitely not be safe if an asteroid hits the sea at the same time. Despite the destruction, humanity is not in danger of becoming extinct. There would be great devastation in the affected area, of course, but this should not generate enough impacts to decimate the existence of our species. Even so, there would be worldwide consequences for sure. In some cases, asteroid impacts would throw so much dust and debris into the atmosphere that it would cause climate change. This is what happened with dinosaurs, for example. Of course, that asteroid was considerably larger than Apophis, but experts have different opinions on what might happen. Some say you shouldn't expect this particular space rock to spread enough debris to cause long-term climate change. Other researchers say that climate change caused by the impact of Apophis is a very real possibility. It's hard to pinpoint what could happen again, but after all these frightening facts, let's take a breath here, because we have some news that will make you a little more calm. First here, thanks to observations of calculations, we are almost 100% sure that we will not be hit by Apophis in 2029, but the asteroid is another object that is lost in space, as there are thousands of others out there. And if one day an asteroid does come our way, NASA has a crazy plan to try and save our lives. Recently, a spacecraft that had been in space for 10 months collided with a small asteroid. The object posed no danger to Earth, but this was a test carried out by NASA. If you need to deflect or destroy a rock entirely, the mission was a way to test the ability to hit a target 11,000 kilometers away right there, right? And cause a change in the original orbit. The mission was called DARK, or Binary Asteroid Redirection Test Mission. She promoted an impact at roughly 2922 km/h with a probe similar to a refrigerator weighing about 570 kilos. Quite disproportionate, right? The device had a single camera for navigation, target selection, and recording its final action. Research indicates the mission was highly successful. That's wonderful news. Let's dive deeper into the study details and understand the success factors of this incredible mission. The mission aimed not to destroy the space rock, but to alter its trajectory, and it was highly successful. That's excellent. The collision modified the asteroid's path more than anticipated. So, you might question, does this mean that even if an asteroid were on a collision course with Earth, we might still survive? Furthermore, what if a larger piece of space debris heads our way? Let's explore these questions further and understand the potential implications of such scenarios. Are we safe? Most likely yes. Fortunately, our technology has advanced enough to prevent a dinosaur-like extinction event. So what do you think about this topic? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for your continual support, which we truly appreciate. Stay tuned for our next video, where we will delve into more exciting content. See you soon.